The fifth practice in the mindfulness of the body section of the Satipatthana Sutta is meditation on four elements. And in this practice, we experience the body in terms of each of the four elements: earth, water, fire, and air. What this means is we want to drop concepts about the body and just connect in certain aspects of just the experience of being in the body. The four elements, the first one, earth element, is experienced by solidity. So in whatever posture you are in, say you're in a sitting posture, it's solidity in the body, pressure. So if there's any places I'm sitting in a chair, I can feel the pressure of my back against the back of the chair, on the bottom of the chair, anywhere I feel pressure. Sometimes if there's a fullness, there may be, that's earth element. So any kind of heaviness, lightness, pressure, solidity. The water element is probably most easily accessed through moisture in the mouth, or if there's any moisture, tears, or any moisture experienced around the eyes. Perspiration would be another place. So moisture or dryness is, in other words, it's a lack of moisture, would be water element. Sometimes it's also spoken about in terms of connectivity. I think that's harder for many people to get a handle on. So we'll think of it in terms of moisture. So earth element, solidity, pressure; water element, moisture; fire is temperature, warmth or coolness; and air is most connected through our breathing. That's pretty easy. If you feel any breeze on the externally in the body, that would also be air element. So putting this into practice, again, the idea is we want to, the best we can, drop underneath the concept of the body and directly experience it just in terms of these sensations. So you could experiment. You can probably closing the eyes, but of course you could do it with eyes open and just purposely check in with each of the elements. Make a point to check in with, where do you feel solidity or where do you feel pressure in the body? It can be a good way to get to it. Where do you feel liquidity or don't feel liquidity? Temperature, air. Either these aspects will reveal themselves to you and you can just notice how it arises in terms of the four elements on its own, or you can direct your attention to one or work in systematically through all of these, looking for these. So, and these are different ways you can practice. You can bring the mindfulness of breathing into this practice if you want. You could experiment. Sometimes people can find that the breath can be very grounding and stabilizing to help you stay connected. So they're all mindfulness of the body practices. So if you're being with any of these, we'll just pick the fire element and you're feeling coolness or temperature, warmth. If you let awareness of the body come in there, you're still mostly connecting with the fire element, but the awareness of the breath can come in. This doesn't work for everyone, so you have to try it out. But if it does work for you, it can help be a stabilizing force to more fully staying connected with the fire element. So there's a range of ways to work with the four elements practice. The idea then again is to drop below our concepts and connect with the body experientially, just in terms of these various sensations. So you can try that out. This is a way you can experience the body internally, externally, or both internally and externally. So external would be, coolness on the skin. That would be more externally, or warmth on the skin. Air, if you feel any breezes on the body, that would be more external. Probably for a lot of people, it's more the breathing internally. Or you can notice the change, the rising and passing away, just as with the other practices, making a point to notice the fact that it's all changing. Some of these you may not experience it as changing so readily. If there's a particular pressure, for example, and it seems pretty constant and steady. So you can play with this, but you may want to hang out with a particular sensation, give it some time, and notice, am I aware that it's changing? Not so aware that it's changing. You're not trying to make it be any particular way. So you could play with that. Or bringing bare mindfulness, just enough to stay connected and present with what's happening. And again, this is another practice that can help us remain independent, not clinging to anything in the world.